On Friday, Kansas City honored the life of firefighter and paramedic Graham Hoffman. And today we're marking the 5-year anniversary of another first responder killed in the line of duty.
Overland Park police officer Mike Mosher was shot and killed May 3rd of 2020. Recently, I sat down with his father, Scott, at the memorial that's just feet away from where he was killed to see what that passage of time really feels like.
I've left the ribbon up because that's the original ribbon.
How often do you come here?
I come here probably once a month. I drive by all the time. You know, the memories go on every day, so 5 years is no different than any other day to me.
Scott Mosher has a sense of peace about him that is almost hard to believe.
Human part of me misses him, of course, but the father part of me says that what he did was not only to be proud of, but it was to model after. You know, I think sometimes that you think, what could he have accomplished had he not been killed? I think he accomplished what the Lord wanted him to. You can see where this is faded right in here.
Yeah.
And that's where it happened.
It was the moment that Mike encountered Philip Carney. Mike's body camera caught their exchange, including the moment that Carney pulled a gun. Scott told me a couple of years ago that he watches that video every year. Do you intend to do that again for year 5?
Absolutely. As a matter of fact, I probably do it more often. Not to relive the experience, but to hear his voice. It's really the only place that I have his voice.
Scott also lost his wife, Shelley, about a year after Mike died. But he did forge a friendship with, of all people, Philip Carney's parents that is still strong today.
I look at it as we both lost a son that day. Our relationship has helped that, and I appreciate their relationship.
The Carneys echoed that when I spoke to them a couple of years ago.
Anything's possible with God's mercy, and that's what it's taught me. God's taken this and he's making a masterpiece out of it. I can't see it any other way.
5 years later, Scott is absolutely a different person. He's on the Overland Park City Council, which he says his son asked him to do before he died. But more importantly,
what comes to mind is the forgiveness that I have in my heart, the empathy that I have for others that I didn't have before.
And he says he looks forward to the day that he'll see his son again.
All we really have when someone passes is the memories that we have of them, and that's what keeps our heart quiet. We're just here for a short time in God's plan, and we'll be together again. I'm not saying it doesn't hurt. It does, but it's a manageable hurt based on the memories that we have of our loved ones.
One of the most powerful moments from Officer Mosher's funeral 5 years ago was when his then 12-year-old daughter Tyler delivered his eulogy. Scott Mosher shared this recent photo with me of the two of them. She is preparing to graduate high school this month, and he said she's doing very, very well. I also reached out to Paul and Julie Carney, who you saw in that story. They're the parents of Philip Carney, who shot Officer Mosher. They emailed me some of their thoughts on the anniversary, including, "Today, due to the mercy shown to us by the Mosher family, we find less reason for anger. We are a little quicker to forgive. We try to pay it forward with mercy for others when we can. And we are thankful to God that Officer Mike was there on May 3rd to stop our son from hurting others. We mourn his loss and grieve for his family." The Carneys also told me they've written a letter to President Trump and both Kansas senators. They're advocating for laws that would prevent immediate bail being allowed for people who have a history of assaulting police officers. Philip had a history of doing that, and they think he should have been behind bars at the time of Mosher's death and not have been able to get out of jail. The Overland Park Police Department will hold a ceremony in Mosher's remembrance at 1 o'clock this afternoon in the green space between the police station and the municipal court buildings. Again, that's not very far away from where he was shot and killed on 123rd Street in Overland Park. Part of that street is now called Mike Mosher Boulevard. Really, really incredible story. And that conversation I had with both Carneys and Mosher, they told me there, and I didn't say it in the story, but they told me a couple of years ago, they went to each other's son's funeral. Just a few days after their sons shot and killed each other, they went to each other's sons' funerals.
It's remarkable what those families have done with such absolute tragedy.
Yes, and so glad to hear that Tyler's doing well. So that was such a striking part of his funeral. We were all blown away.
And we all remember.
Yes,
You're absolutely
she got
right.
up there, not a tear shed. She laughed through it. She's 12 years old, and to talk about her dad like that, glad to hear that she's doing well and moving on with the next phase of her life. We'll be back.